Dana. Your hotness.
And I got super sick, so I'm not sure what that says about my hotness.
Because people always say Dana's hot, and they always spell it H-A-W-T. H-A-A-A-A-A-W-T. That's how hot Dana is.
Perfect.
Who's this? Sinner says, can Rebecca be my future ex? No. Get in line. All right, Dana.
Yes, and if you're looking for Steffi's future exes, just wait. There'll be more.
Stop it!
I mean, where's the lie?
You don't believe in me.
Oh, Pumpkin, you look very hot in your aviator. Someone's going to pick you up for sure.
I believe in love still. Okay. Despite how many
but
times
love doesn't believe in you.
Shut up, Chris!
I'm one to talk.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
True.
That's
true. We're both so bitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Dana, did the hearings yesterday make you as mad as they made me?
Infuriating, actually.
Yes, Lady Ruby is going to be my future ex-wife. Oh, my God. I just wanted to hug her and punch Donald Trump at the same time.
100%. I don't think we're a violent people, but what happened yesterday, I want a lot of people to go to jail for what happened yesterday.
Me too.
A lot.
That's what I thought, Dana. Exactly. I was like, this mother needs to rot in jail.
Hey, let's do what the Republicans do. Send them to jail and let the courts figure it out later.
Yeah. Give me 16. Adam Schiff made a good point yesterday, our fine chairman. Here he is.
If the most powerful person in the world is a citizen who is merely doing her job with a lie as big and heavy as a mountain, who among us is safe? None of us is. None of us. In city councils and town councils, on school boards and election boards, from the Congress to the courts, dedicated public servants are leaving their posts because of death threats to them and to their families. This is not who we are. It must not become who we are.
I mean, did you see Kathy Griffin tweeted Ruby and said,
yes,
I do know what it feels like to be personally targeted by the president. I mean, Dana, we just have to take this country back. The number of lives and careers that have been ruined, the path of destruction of this person is just, we were talking about yesterday, just the amount of people that feel emboldened to be racist, homophobic holes on a daily basis. It just
absolutely.
And you can't tell me it has nothing to do with Trump. I mean,
what Mary said in her book, the cruelty is the point. The guy's a psychopath. I think he's psycho and sociopathic tendencies. And the people that are following him, it's horrifying. You have these minions that are, and the FBI warned her, which makes me wonder what the FBI knew.
Right.
At the time.
Right. Yeah. Can you imagine? Leave your home. Who of us has the resources to leave our homes for 2 months?
Absolutely.
Where'd she go? What'd she do? I mean, I was saying, I hope one of our legal lads or lady represents her for free and sues the bejesus out of Trump and Giuliani.
Someone will. Yeah.
Give me one more. Chairman Schiff. Yeah, 817, sorry.
If we are able to communicate anything during these hearings, I hope it is this. We have been blessed beyond measure to live in the world's greatest democracy. That is a legacy to be proud of and to cherish, but it is not one to be taken for granted. That we have lived in a democracy for more than 200 years does not mean we shall do so tomorrow. We must reject violence. We must embrace our Constitution with the reverence it deserves, take our oath of office and duties as citizens seriously, informed by the knowledge of right and wrong, and armed with no more than the power of our ideas and the truth, carry on this venerable experiment in self-governance.
Yeah, I don't know well, Rusty Bowers, which, by the way, I haven't left the house in 2 years. I thought it was something dirty, but it's not a Rusty Bowers. It was a person.
He was not playing a trombone.
It's a person. But I mean, dyed-in-the-wool Republican. Travis just handed me this. Rusty Bowers would vote for Trump in 2024.
That's my problem with this, guys. That's why I don't tout these Republicans for simply honoring their oath of office.
For not breaking the law.
Minimum. They're doing the bare minimum.
Right. And I'm sorry, Dana, thought they would go to prison. Like, you're a hero now for doing your job because you're afraid you'd go to prison if you don't. I mean, it's okay. Anyway, but what did he say? He pressed the point. He said, look, you're asking me to do something that's counter to my oath. I mean, he just said, I won't. He was crying, this guy. Do we have some Rusty Bowers?
Did you also receive a call from U.S. Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona on the morning of January 6th?
I did.
And what did Mr. Biggs ask you to do?
I believe that was the day that the vote was occurring to each state to have certification. or to declare the certification of the electors. And he asked if I would sign on both to a letter that had been sent from my state and or that I would support the decertification of the electors. And I said I would not.
Yeah, went on to say, real quick.
Speaker Bowers, were you aware that fake electors had met in Phoenix on December 14th and purported to cast electoral votes for President Trump?
I was not.
When you learned that these electors had met and sent their electoral votes to Washington, what did you think?
Well, I thought of the book, The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight. And I just thought, this is a tragic parody.
Yeah. He said to Giuliani, or to Eastman, excuse me, you're asking me to do something that's never been done in history, the history of the United States. And I'm not going to put my state through that without sufficient proof. That's going to be good enough with me? No, sir. I mean, and yet...
Well, not to mention, he was like, just do it and let the courts figure it out.
Right.
Eastman knew he was asking him to break the law.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah. Hang on. Hold, please. Greg Jacob, who was Mike Pence's testimony, the amount of lies alone, Dana, are what. So Trump tries to throw Rusty Bowers under the bus before the testimony, and then Rusty Bowers has to say, no, what he just said is a lie. Because Trump's like, he told me that I won Arizona and the election was rigged. He's like, no. I mean, it just on and on. So Pence's lawyer said that the statement that Trump put out that Pence was in total agreement about the power to act on January 6th, he said that was categorically untrue. Trump dictated that whole statement. I mean, it's just getting through all the lies, right? To try to get. I mean, that's what, to me, it's just every time he lies about the old lies, right?
Well, he's also obstructing justice in live time. Like he's obstructing an official proceeding in live time by spouting off about these things.
Right.
I just don't. I don't understand how this man can't be arrested. It's infuriating, and I know a lot of us are getting frustrated that there's been no consequences. But I'm hoping at this point it's not just Eastman that goes down.
Yeah. Well, that was the reporting yesterday that Trump's
Right.
they're ready to throw him under the bus. And this was Holly's idea and he was a coffee boy and I barely knew him. And I mean, but I think what we saw yesterday is just, Dana, the breadth and the depth of the threats to all of these, officials all over the country, death threats. I mean, I didn't know, did you, about the home break-ins of Raffensperger's
I
daughter
did not know.
who was
I did
ill
not.
and whoever's was a widow. I mean, it's, the grandmother of Shea Moss, and unbelievable.
I have to wonder sometimes if the break-ins and the threats of the family are the reasons why, even though these guys are coming out and telling the truth, that they're like, oh, if he were to run again against Biden, I'd vote for him again, just to save at this point, to save their families. It's an unhinged cult that supports this guy, and literally their lives are in danger. So part of me can understand why they're like on my front lawn with pitchforks and and guns.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're terrified.
Secretary of State Benson and the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors chair, who's a Republican, Bill Gates, he said we took oaths of office to defend the Constitution. Said Benson, in times like this, that is what we're protecting and preserving democracy. That's what it requires. Gates said we've got a job to do. We've got important elections to run in 2022. We cannot let these people intimidate us. We have to be safe, but the threats have come in. They set up a guillotine for my colleagues at the Arizona State Capitol on January 6th. So it wasn't just in D.C., Dana. It was all,
Right.
I mean, this same story. He said, I agree with Secretary Benson. I think a lot of us are inspired and emboldened as ever, and seeing new people, young people who want to get involved in this business of running elections. It's inspiring. Do it for Ruby. We've counted on our elders for a long time. It is time to get inspired and emboldened, don't you think? Work the polls,
I think it's
do whatever you can.
More than emboldened, these people go volunteer at the polls. Like they're having Republicans in droves going to start to run the polls and make sure that they're overseeing election integrity. We need to get just as many Democrats and progressives in there doing the same.
Dana, the whole party is rotten. I was saying these right-wing gangs, whether be they homophobic, they're all of it. They're all racist, homophobic. But whether targeting Pride in Idaho or they're targeting black people wherever, Republicans are legislating what the right-wing extremist groups are terrorizing. Right. Like it's all hand in hand, isn't it?
It is very weird. It's almost like it's a lobby that's not giving them money. It's just giving them ego.
Right. They do a, anti-gay, anti-trans bill, and these people show up to terrorize a pride thing, right? They
Absolutely.
do whatever bill they do. I mean, it really is. It's all the same. Yeah. I mean, that's what's extraordinary. There is no fringe anymore, and they've turned on each other. I mean, they're terrorizing their own, whatever they call rhinos or moderates, I guess.
Well, and you also have down in Texas with their new platform that they're not accepting log cabin Republicans into their platform.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do down in Texas. I mean, that whole platform is crazy pants bananas.
Yeah.
Like, it's horrifying.
Yeah,
I'm sure you touched on it.
Gay
Yeah.
is an abnormal lifestyle, but having 19 armed police stand there for an hour while your children get massacred, that's normal? I mean, it's...
With an unlocked classroom door. Let's not
Yes.
forget that point.
Exactly. Well, they searched for a key.
Yeah. Oh, my God. If I was a parent there, I can't even... I mean, I'm getting to a level of fury that's not healthy, but okay.
Yeah. It's not healthy for any of us, that's for sure.
All right. Dana's here, though, so it's better.
Everything's better.
Yes.
Yes.